Hello, hello, hello. A bit late today because there was an incident. There's police. I think it was a domestic lady had a very big mouth and was shouting very loudly, and I thought the microphones might pick it up, so I delayed broadcast. But 'tis another coffee time, and that's where I go to the Daily Mail website and basically look at the news, and we try and I don't know get some news in, if you like that kind of thing. Top story: Meghan Markle in the country. Did you feel a disturbance in the force? I don't know. It's to do with the Invictus Games. I don't care. Who cares? Does anyone care? Oh, here we go. Antiques Roadshow. Top news. Top news here. Again, I don't. Do you watch Antiques Roadshow? Do you have to be like really old to watch that? I used to, as a kid, it was kind of on, because in the old days we had like 3 channels. But I don't know. Maybe if I'm flicking over, and I might have something on there. Great Aunt Gertrude's dildo that she got from Marrakesh. Car from Ivory. I'm demonetised already. Not even 2 minutes in, I believe. Anyway, Antiques Roadshow has been blasted. Oh God, why have they been blasted? What's gone on? Is somebody selling their antique collection of gollywogs? No, but this is there's some people on. Ronnie Archer Morgan, right? He's the expert, right? And he was looking at some items, some artifacts. These artifacts were given to Sir Harold Kittermaster, who's governor of the protection. This is back in Ethiopia, right? British Somaliland. He was the protectorate of British Somaliland between 1926 and 1931, and he was given a golden robe and personal letter by Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie, very well respected figure in Ethiopian culture. So yeah, Ronnie Archer Morgan is an antiques expert in ethnic, tribal and folk art, and he valued the items, the robe, particularly in the region of £4,000 to £5,000. But Mr. Archer Morgan, right, who was speaking to the 2 granddaughters of Sir Harold, whether they would be happy to give the garment away for free. He said, "So if there's a call for these things to be repatriated, would you be happy to do that?" I think they've arrested her. I think they've arrested her for obstruction. But anyway, here's a picture of Sir Harold Kittermaster. Here he is in all his finery. And here's a picture of Haile Selassie. Now the thing is, right, and this is why people were incensed, is Haile Selassie was mates. He was mates with Sir Harold Kittermaster, and he gave the items, which you can see here, to him as a friend would give a gift to another friend. These weren't stolen. These weren't, nicked. They were given. And this chump says, "You're going to give them away?" Right? Oh dear. But yeah, in response, the 2 unnamed granddaughters said they absolutely would. I'm going to have a think of what they should do with the artifacts. Now again, look, there's difference between stealing items and the various terrible colonial things we've done, but these 2 men were friends. I mean, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but and also Ethiopia has never asked for any of its historic gifts to be returned. Yeah, so very strange, very strange. It's funny how we seem to view everything through repatriation these days. I mean, it's a funny old world we live in. But yeah, I wonder what Haile Selassie would think. He'd probably be deeply, deeply insulted by this. But hey, that's not what it's about, is it? That's not what it's about. Oh, top story here. England's best and worst motorways. Yeah, this is the independent watchdog Transport Focus has come up with a list of terrible routes. Is your favourite motorway on there? I don't know if there's a big list. This is. I mean, this is just a list of numbers. Yeah, so they've ranked them with a satisfaction ranking. This is what Mick Jagger was singing about when he was singing that he couldn't get any satisfaction on the M1. He couldn't get any satisfaction on the A50. No satisfaction there. On the A12, forget about it. So yeah, these are just a list of numbers. The most boring story ever, with the A27 being the least satisfying A road in the country. But the A303 storms in with an 85% satisfaction rating. Why am I even bothering with this? I thought it'd be fun and interesting. But yeah, the M5, right? Here it is the best motorway in England. There you go. I thought it'd be interesting. I thought it was interesting, but no. Meanwhile, the Met Office has revealed where the thunder and heavy rain will batter Britain today because the heat wave is over. It's all over, folks. It's chilly. You've got to put your woolies on now. You've got to put your woolly hat on. And here we go. This is where we're getting the yellow rain. Remember, kids, don't drink the yellow rain. We've got a yellow thunderstorm. Have we ever had a yellow thunderstorm before? We've had yellow snow. So, yeah, you might want to take your brolly with you, except if it's thunderstorms, because you don't want to get struck by lightning. Oh, I can't read that. That's a horrible story. Meanwhile, the Apple Store website has crashed ahead of today's iPhone 15 launch event. Really? It's just got rid of lightning connection. It's USB-C now. So, yeah. Meanwhile, we have what would you call it? Disciplinary news. This is David Forge, right? He was up accused of sexist misconduct, right? Yes, here he is, and he's got I don't know if this is a personalised number plate, but you don't half look like a dickhead. But anyway, remember, if you've got a personalised number plate, you're a dickhead. But anyway, he was found guilty of misconduct and kicked out of the Institute of Chartered Accountants for egregious behaviour, and was ordered to pay more than £15,000 in legal costs. What did he do? Well, apparently he quoted Captain Mainwaring. They don't like it up, do they? They don't like it up, from Dad's Army. No, he didn't say to a woman she didn't like it up her. That would be really bad. But no, he said he called a female director a stupid girl, and he also called her a moaning Minnie, and told her not to get her knickers in a twist. Indeed, I didn't think get your knickers in a twist was a sexist thing. I thought that was just a common parlance. I'm not going to let us say it now. But get your boxes in a bunch. Get the bug up your out your arse. I don't know. How are we supposed to insult people now? Oh no, hashtag be kind. We can't even insult the stupid anymore. But yeah, it's cost him. It's cost him dearly. The hearing was told that Mr. Forge of Maidstone, Kent, had become involved in a dispute with staff over managing a development where he owned a property. He believed the property management firm had committed fraud, and from 2015 to 2018 sent a number of messages to people involved in the row, the committee was told. In one, he described a male chartered surveyor, only identified as Mr. A as the scum of the earth. In another message, posted in 2016, he asked the female director known as Miss D, dear oh dear, have you got anything better to do, like washing up? A little bit sexist there. A little bit sexist. In another email to the same woman, he said he called her. He said in the infamous amended words of Captain Mainwaring, "You stupid girl," in which he titled a later email moaning Minnie. So yeah, I think this is just a man taken to the edge, taken to the edge. But yeah, the ICAEW have decided to exclude Mr. Forge and said the comments included language which was sexist, i.e., discriminatory, grossly offensive, and was of a threatening nature, which caused offence and hurt a number of people. The conduct continued over a significant period of time, and offensive comments were made repeatedly. So yeah, he declined to comment. When told of the disciplinary hearing, he replied that he was on a cruise. Man does not give up, does he? Just doesn't care. Doesn't care. There you go. Meanwhile, aren't Ring doorbells great? Yeah? Ring doorbells are great. They capture all manner of things, don't they? And this one has captured the moment lightning strikes. Boom! There goes a chimney pot. Look at that. Boom! That was epic, that was. Yeah, a lucky couple made a dramatic escape after the lightning bolt struck their home minutes after they left, destroying the roof, blowing up their boiler, and frying the electrics. A nearby Ring doorbell captured the moment 300 million volts shot down from the clouds. This was in Chalgrove in Oxfordshire. And it was 4 minutes after they just popped out for lunch. And yeah, the chimney was blasted off and holes were smashed through the roof. And also the falling slates damaged their car. So yeah, well, our place got struck by lightning. Well, not this place. This is when we was at the shop. Got struck by lightning, blew up my amp and me subwoofer. I've never got over it. I've never got over it. No. Meanwhile, people are furious. They're racked with indignant fury. Why, Darren? Why? Because they're angry with Rick Stein. Rick Stein, famous, is he restaurateur and he does cookery shows as well, doesn't he? Hey, he's all right. I quite like him. But yeah, the diners are furious with Rick Stein. Here he is posing with some seafood. And why are they furious with him? Do you want to know why? Because he's upped the cost of condiments. The condiments at his Cornish fish and chip shop. Yeah. He's raised them to £2. Yes. If you want to add mayonnaise, tartar sauce, or mushy peas to their dinner, you'll have to pay an extra £2. Now, considering it costs $16.95 for cod and chips and $18.95 for a sea bass meal, it should just be free. It should be on the side. You shouldn't have to pay extra. But yeah, the chef felt he had to pass on the cost to customers. It's the cost of living crisis. And this comes after analysis by the Liberal Democrats. Good to see that they're busy. Their study has found that the price of popular sauces has soared by 50% in 2 years. Liberal Democrats did research into the cost of sauce. I see the brown sauce is more expensive than the brown sauce these days. Has your favourite restaurant increased the price of condiments? Don't leave a comment in the comment box below because I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, you should get mayonnaise and ketchup and whatever on the side. You shouldn't have to pay. Meanwhile, are you going to Starbucks, Pret or Costa? Because they've got their autumnal drinks in. Yeah, pumpkin spice lattes, flavoured hot chocolates and frappes are coming back. And but don't get them. Don't get them. Especially if you're a type 2 diabetic like me. You know, convicted diabetic and proud of it. Because some of these drinks can contain as much sugar as 4 Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. Oh, we've got an infogram here. You can see his infograph. You've got a Cafe Nero Amaretto hot chocolate. It's got 42 grams of sugar in it. Ay caramba! But that's not the worst. Well, we'll do the others first. Greg's hazelnut mocha has got 32 grams of sugar. Costa Coffee's maple hazel hot chocolate, 47 grams. That's pretty bad. The McCafe, that's McDonald's branded caramel waffle latte, 21 grams. That's the best one. Pretz chocolate chai weighs it in at a whopping 49.8 grams. Meanwhile, the winner is Starbucks pumpkin spice frappuccino with 51 grams of sugar. Isn't that 5 times? Because you're only supposed to have like 10. I think it's 10 grams of sugar a day. That is 5 times. And you wonder why you're fat. And you wonder why you need to go to the gym. I don't know. Shocking. But yeah, don't go there. Just don't. Just stay home. Make your own. Meanwhile, we're being invaded. Is it the Germans again? No, it's not the Germans. We're under threat from a new insect invader. Yes. This is an interesting one. Do you want to see? Do you want to see the little blighter? It's these fellas. These are red fire ants. They're normally native of South America, but apparently the invasive species has been spotted in the UK. Yeah. They're described as one of the most invasive species in the world, and they may have already taken hold. Experts have warned Brits to be aware of their nasty bite. But yeah, according to green-fingered insect spotters on Facebook groups, they may have been spotted. One post in the Gardening Hints and Tips group reads, I have a lot of red-orange ants living on my lawn. Looks like I have moles, but they're anteaters. Does anyone know how to get rid of them? Another post from August the 3rd features a close-up image of winged red ants. Now, the thing is, right, you do get red ants anyway. This is probably just a... I don't know, I'd have to see how big they were. But you do get red ants in the UK anyway. I don't think they're fire ants, though. But it's hard to say, because I think fire ants are quite big. But red ants, you do get red ants. So don't panic just yet. It could be nothing, he says, and then finds out that we've all been invaded. Good news, everybody. NASA have discovered a super Earth. It's better than this place. Firstly, we don't live there, so it makes it instantly better. So it's not infected with stupid. This is K2-18b, and it's 8 times the size of Earth and 120 light years away. So it's a bit of a walk then, a bit of a schlep. And it sits within the golden zone, the habitable zone of a cool dwarf star in the Leo constellation. It's thought to be a Hycean world. This is a new class of exoplanet possessing key ingredients for alien species because of its hydrogen-rich atmospheres and oceans of water. This is an artist impression because no one's been there yet. Look at that. That's what it might look like. But yeah, they reckon it could be home to life. Home to life. But I reckon a gas uniquely associated with life has been found there. Yeah. And they've even done a composition of its atmosphere. Wow. Look at that. Do you think Elon will go there? Meanwhile, if you think you're having a bad day, we're going up to the King Con's Bar in Stirling, up in Scotland. This was yesterday. It was a torrential rain and, flash flood. As you can see, they're battling against the weather there as they get overwhelmed. It's quite an impressive sight. It's nature taken over. Yeah, they reckon it's cost them £7,000 worth of damage, which is rather unfortunate. What else have we got? Well, let's go to the court, shall we? This is the story of Olympic champion Eric Lemaze. Lemaze is one of Canada's most successful Olympic show jumpers. Here he is, doing his show jumping, right? And He's currently embroiled in a £400,000 lawsuit with Iron Horse Farm, having sold them 3 horses that are allegedly not the quality that he promised. This is back in 2010. But yeah, in order to dodge the case, it turns out that Mr. LeMays may have faked his own end-stage cancer in order to avoid the court case. Yes, despite documents appearing to confirm he was suffering from cancer, a judge has questioned the reliability of his claims. Judge Marvin Kurtz published 2 endorsements with the first statement of LeMays and Torrey Pine Stables, home of LeMays, brought a motion asking to adjourn. Right? But the motion stated he'd been battling brain cancer for a number of years, with disease also allegedly spread into his throat. And he was allegedly scheduled to undergo further surgery on June 11th. However, his lawyer, Timothy Danson, filed a statement claiming that LeMays, who announced his retirement in March 2022, was diagnosed with brain cancer in November 2017. Right? And yeah, it seems that he has been a bit of a naughty boy. Yeah. One of the lawyers involved declared him very sick, but maybe not with cancer. So that's one way of trying to fight a court case, I suppose. Yeah. Meanwhile, Grimes, she's the mother of 3 of Elon Musk's children, was a little bit peeved with him. This is in his new book, in the new book about him that's coming out. Here they are together. And she was a little peeved. And she couldn't understand why. He couldn't understand why she was upset with him. Because it turns out that after the birth of the children, he sent photos of her having a C-section to family and friends. And she said he was just clueless about why I'd be upset. And yeah, so would you reckon? On spectrum? Possibly. So again, not a good thing. Not a good thing to do. Again, if you've ever been, I've been to 2 of those things. Last thing you're thinking about is taking photos. You know, you're just involved in the whole procedure, you know. Didn't even think of taking a photograph. Meanwhile, the latest trend on social media, TikTok specifically, we call it TikTok, it's the sound of their brain cells knocking together, right? Is that they're using social media to share tips on how to steal from stores. Yeah, shoplifting has become a trend on social media, and they use code words such as borrowing to avoid detections by its filters. One user ranked stores out of 10 based on how easy it was to steal from them, with Asda giving 4 marks because their branches are so easy to target. Poundland got a 7, and Superdrug was given a 5 because its security is getting better. And yeah, here's a screen grab from the TikTok video. Yeah, and so now you know why everyone's going in for the 5-finger discount. And some even post haul videos of the things that they've stolen. We're doomed. You know, we're doomed. We're doomed. Doomed as a species. Absolutely finished. Finished. Good news, everybody. I reckon the government. That's funny because wait a minute. Excuse me. My browser just went a little bit weird then. This is to do with vaping. The government looks like it's following Australia and New Zealand and France, and going to ban disposable vapes. And this could come about as soon as next week. Yeah, the decision will be revealed in a consultation issued by the government within next week. Campaigners have long called for much tougher regulations because these things are basically marketed to children. The head of the Vape Association will say, no, adults like bright colours too, and, I don't know, cherry cola flavoured vapes. They're not aimed at children. There's a great BBC, I think it's Panorama, where they're interviewing him, and he just goes, So yeah, it's all these, again, just for e-waste alone, forget the health thing, but even e-waste, because each one of these contains a battery, a lithium, I would imagine it's a lithium battery, and then factor into that how many kids are actually using these things. It's a big thing at my kids' school, and you can see what the percentages are. There's a lot of kids out there that are doing vapes, and they still don't know what damage it will do to the lungs. So yeah, we need to get rid of them. Ban them completely. Do you remember it was e-cigarettes? This was about 20 years ago when it started. It's got crazy. It's gone crazy. What else have we got? If you think you're having a bad day, we're going to file this under having a bad day and stay at home. This is US explorer Mark Dickey, and yeah, he was exploring in Turkey, and he found himself stuck down a cave, 3,400 feet down. Yeah. And it took 200 international experts to put on a rescue mission to get him out. Teams from across Europe rushed to the Mulka cave in southern Turkey's Taurus Mountains to aid the 40-year-old, who was struck down with stomach bleeding. Oh dear. And he found himself stuck in an area of caves, surrounded by steep shafts, narrow passages, as well as pits, and temperature in the cave was around 39 degrees, as well as describing being damp and wet. And yeah, here they are, getting him out. Reminds me of that Boris Johnson, when he was swinging with the flags. All that guy needed was two. I think he's US. Yeah, 2 US flags, and he'd have done a good Boris Johnson impression. But yeah, stay at home. I wonder if he has to pay for the rescue though. But at least they got him out. Here he is, looking quite pleased with himself. 200 rescues, you say? Ay caramba. I mean, it's just, yeah. But yeah, he's doing all right now, and they got him out. But yeah, why would you put yourself through it? But yeah, they're still not sure what caused Dickie's illness, because he was taken ill whilst he was underground. He didn't get stuck or anything, he got ill and couldn't get out again. And here is a map of the cave system, so you can see just how far down he was. I mean, crikey. And I guess that's the teams that went down to rescue him from all over Europe. I'm sure he'll buy him a drink. Meanwhile, poaching news. Paul Darlington. Here he is. He's a bit of a trackie. He likes the old track suits, does Paul Darlington. Right. He was caught illegally fishing rainbow trout. Yeah. This was at a £1.2 million lakeside farm in Cheshire. Darlington from Ellesmere Port was escorted from the farm and threatened Thomas Canning that he'd wake up with a donkey's head in his bed. Well, it's from The Godfather, isn't it? Yeah, so he was arrested later, and he denied wrongdoing, claiming that he'd been threatened first. During the verbal exchange, Darlington told Mr. Kenyon, "Thank you for walking us around the farm. We now know the layout. We know what you've got. We will come back and break in, and we'll kill the kids and let you watch." Charming fellow. Charming fellow. So yeah, this is where it was. This is why couldn't he just got a license or permission? Why does he have to be a poacher? Not very nice. So yeah, he was found guilty and he was ordered to complete 200 hours of unpaid work and 20 days of rehabilitative activity. He was given a 5-year restraining order not to contact the 3 members of the Canning family named in the charges or enter the farm, and ordered to pay £514 in costs and victim surcharge. District Judge Jack McGarver told him, "The threats made were vile. In my view, they showed a great arrogance on your part. At the end of the day, this was somewhere you had to pay to go, not somewhere you can walk in and do what you want. The threats were particularly unpleasant." Indeed. So, didn't need to do that. Meanwhile, we are going to Leicester Square. Oh, I fancy popping in, getting a burger. Or maybe not. Oh, bitch fight. Oh, yeah. This is what we want. Bitches be crazy. They always wear a thong, don't they? Have you noticed that? Or does it just always ride up? I can't be sure. But yeah, this is 2 women were involved in a brawl outside McDonald's restaurant, and 3 men tried to separate them, whilst the rest just stood there and went, in a minute, just let them, in a minute. I'm joking. And thank you, Daily Mail website, for refreshing as I was talking about that. I'm going to have to find out where we were now. Oh. That's good. Got there. Oh, no, he's not very nice. Meanwhile, do you suffer from cellulite? I don't, because I'm like a sparrow's kneecap. This is something apparently Jennifer Aniston uses. These are called compression trousers. And the writer for the Daily Mail, Alice Hart Davis, has tried them and says that they work. So you ever look at these compression trousers? I don't think they'll catch on. I don't think there'll ever be a fashion. It's not a good look, is it? But they cure cellulite apparently. There you go. All right. Meanwhile, Joe Biden on Monday told of visiting Ground Zero on September the 12th, 2001, and standing there the next day looking at the buildings. This turned out to be a complete and utter lie, because he was actually in Washington, D.C. on September the 12th that year, which is, I think, in his autobiography. Yeah, he was given a speech in Anchorage in Alaska. And, yeah. So he's saying, I remember everything, I remember it all. But he wasn't there. Yes, he doesn't know anything, he doesn't know where he was. In fact, he's here, look. He's outside Congress. So he wasn't there at all. Joe, he just forgot. Not good. Have I done enough yet? I feel like I've done enough. I've got the animal story ready, and I'm just looking at this. Oh no. Oh, found our new home, missus. This is a 2-bedroom, semi-detached house. Did it say where it is? It's in Totton, in Nottinghamshire. And let's have a look at it. This is on Whiting Avenue, and yeah, I think we'd be all right here. Oh, wait a minute, I can see a theme. I can see it. Oh dear, I can see a theme. Oh Jesus, I can see a theme emerging. I wonder what their favourite colour was. Even the toilet, even the shed. Yeah. So yeah, they were obsessed with pink, but the owner's since passed. Probably went mad with all the pink. And yeah, on the market for £230,000. So it's going to cost you a lot to get rid of that bleeding pink, I reckon. So yeah, but I reckon it'd be good. We could just leave it, couldn't we? They call it the Pink House, known as the Pink House, in the locality. Just having a little look. Mind you, I've just seen another property that's come on the market that could be good. This is it's got the address No One, the Thames. I quite like that. I like that. It's actually number 1, but they shortened it to No One. And it's an old gun tower from I think it's from, goes back to the Napoleonic Wars, and it was used during the First and Second Wars. It's like a Martello Tower. And yeah, I don't know. I think we put it down as a little bit of a doer-upper. What do you reckon? It's 169 years old, so I don't know. I think it's allowed to look a little bit run down. But yeah, look at that. It's quite imposing. I mean, that would make a great grand designs. It's 1 mile east of the village of Grain and occupies a unique, peaceful position. And it's on the market. It can be yours for a rather, I think, a bargain, 150 grand. Bargain. I don't think Amazon's going to be able to do deliveries there, especially when the tide's in. You know, tide's in. You wouldn't be able to get there, would you? Have to wait for the tide to be out. For Sainsbury's, how would Sainsbury's deliver? They'd have to get a boat. And what else have we got? I've got a couple of good animal stories. I think I'm gonna do the animal stories now. This was caught on camera at the Seguro National Park near Tucson in southern Arizona, right? And you got to guess what the animal is, right? Because it looks like it's doing a little dance. It's quite good, isn't it? Yeah, you figured it out. You figured out what the animal is, and it confused wildlife fans, and there was much discussion online as to what it was, right? Yeah, it's a skunk, in case you didn't know. Sometimes skunks do that to intimidate their enemies. They didn't have a picture of a skunk, and I was hoping I knew what it was because I've seen them do things like that. But yeah, it's a skunk, and they sometimes go on like that, and they spray you, even if it's a higher way of spraying. He wasn't dancing, no, but if you're asking, he's dancing. But we're not going to end with that one, because there's a much better animal story. I'm just going to scroll back up because I didn't jump out of it. And this is the story of a rather unfortunate cow. Right, this is Whitton Castle, country park in Bishop Auckland, and yeah, the local farmer called them because Daisy fell down a pothole, and they had to hoist her out. Poor Daisy. But then she went back to her chums and went, "Doris, you can't believe what happened to me." And we're going to end with that one. Poor cow. Yeah. They checked the hole just in case there was an udder one. Oh. Anyone in today? 7 people in, 1 like. Come on. Cole says, imagine being directly struck by lightning. Wouldn't that be great? Possibly not. Possibly not. I don't think so. So, I don't know. I wouldn't fancy it. It'd be rather shocking. G-Man's in. Hello, G-Man. How are you? Are you all right? Good, good, good. And yeah, we'll call it quits. That was the news. Thank you for watching. Killing channel, 1 video at a time. You know you've got to drink it up.